The geopolitical landscape of the Middle East has never been more volatile as the strategic rivalry between the United States, Israel, and Iran reaches critical heights. Over the past several weeks, tensions have escalated dramatically, with each side deploying military assets, conducting strategic maneuvers, and signaling intent through a combination of overt action and covert operations. The situation is a complex web of strategic calculations, regional power projection, and global political stakes, all unfolding in real time with far-reaching consequences. American and Israeli forces have coordinated their actions to exert maximum pressure on Iran. Aircraft carriers, advanced fighter jets, and long-range missile systems have been positioned in proximity to the Persian Gulf and surrounding waters, creating a layered deterrent that challenges Iran's regional influence. Israel, leveraging its advanced air force and missile defense networks, has conducted precision strikes aimed at neutralizing key military infrastructure, while American forces provide strategic oversight, intelligence support, and potential rapid response capabilities. This alliance reflects decades of military cooperation and mutual strategic interests in the region, creating a force projection that few nations can match. Iran, however, is not passive. The Iranian military has mobilized its missile batteries, air defense systems, and naval units to defend its sovereignty and deter further escalation. Strategic missile brigades have been placed on high alert, capable of striking targets across Israel and its neighboring territories. Iranian drones, both reconnaissance and armed variants, have been deployed to gather intelligence and project power across contested areas. Beyond conventional forces, Iran's network of regional allies, including Hezbollah in Lebanon, Shiite militias in Iraq, and various proxies in Syria and Yemen, provide an additional layer of influence and asymmetric capability that complicates any potential American-Israeli offensive. The operational environment is further complicated by the speed and precision of modern warfare. Air and naval engagements are supported by real-time satellite intelligence, unmanned aerial systems, cyber operations, and electronic warfare. Each side must anticipate not only physical attacks but also information and cyber disruptions that can alter the strategic landscape instantly. Decision-making is conducted under extreme pressure, with leaders and military commanders weighing the risks of escalation against the potential strategic gains of decisive action. The human dimension of this conflict cannot be overlooked. Civilians in Iran, Israel, and adjacent regions face growing risks from missile strikes, air raids, and proxy engagements. Hospitals, schools, and residential areas are increasingly vulnerable to damage, and international humanitarian agencies are struggling to maintain aid flows amidst disrupted supply lines and restricted access to conflict zones. Public opinion, both regional and global, also exerts influence as governments weigh the consequences of military escalation against domestic and international expectations. Economically, the stakes are immense. The Persian Gulf is a critical artery for global energy supplies, and any disruption could lead to significant price volatility worldwide. Shipping lanes, ports, and oil infrastructure are potential targets or collateral areas of concern. And the global economy is closely watching developments that could affect both energy security and trade routes. Sanctions, embargoes, and strategic blockades are also part of the broader economic theater, influencing decision-making on both sides. Politically, the situation is a high-stakes balancing act. The United States seeks to maintain regional dominance, deter Iranian nuclear ambitions, and support Israel as a strategic ally. Israel's objectives include neutralizing Iran's military infrastructure, ensuring its own national security, and projecting strength to dissuade further aggression. Iran, meanwhile, seeks to assert its sovereignty, maintain its regional influence, and demonstrate its deterrent capabilities to both its regional adversaries and global powers. Each side's calculations are influenced by allies and adversaries, and even minor miscalculations could rapidly escalate the conflict. Naval operations play a central role. The U.S. Navy has positioned aircraft carriers, amphibious assault ships, and guided missile destroyers to assert maritime dominance and protect shipping routes. Israeli naval forces supplement these deployments with surveillance, rapid response, and coastal defense. Iran, in turn, has positioned its navy to protect critical choke points, including the Strait of Hormuz, and is prepared to use asymmetric naval tactics, including fast attack craft mines and anti-ship missiles, to challenge superior conventional forces. The risk of maritime escalation is high, and the outcome could have ripple effects on global trade and energy markets. On land, Israel's airstrikes have targeted Iran's missile depots, military bases, and nuclear-related facilities, while Iran has demonstrated its capacity to retaliate through missile and drone attacks. Regional proxy forces increase the unpredictability of the battlefield, creating multiple theaters where clashes could occur simultaneously. The complexity of the operational environment requires constant intelligence gathering, rapid decision-making, and careful calibration to avoid unintended escalation that could lead to a broader regional war. Cyber warfare adds another layer of complexity. Both sides have invested heavily in cyber capabilities, capable of disrupting communications, targeting critical infrastructure, and potentially influencing civilian populations. Information operations, including psychological campaigns and propaganda, further complicate the conflict by shaping narratives, influencing perceptions, and potentially constraining political and military decision-making. The integration of cyber and information operations with conventional military action has transformed the nature of modern conflict into a multidimensional struggle. Diplomatic efforts continue in parallel with military operations, but trust is limited and timelines are compressed. Nations, including Russia, China, and European powers, are engaging in back-channel negotiations attempting to mediate and prevent full-scale escalation. While public statements often emphasize restraint and calls for diplomacy, the rapid pace of events on the ground and at sea leaves little room for slow-moving negotiations. The international community is acutely aware that any misstep could have consequences far beyond the immediate region, influencing alliances, energy markets, and global security frameworks. The trajectory of the conflict remains uncertain. Some scenarios envision a contained series of strikes that achieve limited tactical objectives while avoiding broader escalation. Other scenarios anticipate a protracted regional conflict with multiple theaters of engagement, extensive civilian impacts, and long-term strategic consequences. Both sides are acutely aware that any escalation could draw in neighboring countries and further complicate the global balance of power. Ultimately, the United States, Israel, and Iran are engaged in a complex strategic game, balancing military action, technological capability, regional influence, and international perception. Every move is a calculated risk, and the consequences extend far beyond the immediate battlefield. Analysts, governments, and global observers are watching closely, as the decisions made in the coming days could define the strategic landscape of the Middle East for years to come. The world must contend not only with the immediate tactical consequences of the conflict, but also with the broader strategic implications: energy security, refugee flows, regional alliances, and the precedent set for future conflicts. The Iran-Israel confrontation is more than a regional struggle. It is a test of modern military power, strategic foresight, and global diplomacy. As events unfold, the international community waits and watches, hoping for restraint but preparing for the worst.